right, thank you guys so much. Today we're talking about the N-word. First and last time for me. We'll be right back.
Carlos Hardy Show, yeah, 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 yeah. It's the Carlos Hardy Show, yeah, 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 yeah. Come on, let's do it. 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 It's the Carlos Hardy Show, yeah, 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 yeah. It's the Carlos Hardy Show, yeah, 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 yeah. Come on. Come on, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Come on, let's do it.
We are back, and thank you guys so much for joining me. I truly, truly appreciate that. Remember, subscribe there on your screen. Let's meet our guest. You guys ready? Let's meet our guest. We're talking about the N-word. My first guest is a sci-fi author. This is Christopher Edwards. Meet actress Katie Oliver. This is a professional dancer here. This is Odd Willie. Wiley. Odd Wiley. Give it up for you. Get it. Okay, here we go. Let's get into it. We all know what the N-word is. We've talked about it. Well, you know, some of us have and some of us have not. And some of us choose not to talk about it. So where do we begin with this word? Is this word ever going to be abolished, and should it? That's the first question. Christopher.
It should be abolished. I don't think anybody should use it. It has a negative connotation to it. There's a lot of feeling attached to it, and I think that blacks and whites should just not use it.
Blacks and whites.
Blacks and whites should not use it toward each other or toward other races, because it's even though they try to spin it and make it positive, it still has that negative connotation to it when another race uses it. So I don't think anybody should use it.
Katie, do you buy this?
I don't agree with abolishing a word at all.
Okay.
I think that it's something that can still be used in art and expression. It's something that's part of the past.
Right.
Well, it's still part of the present, but I mean, it
was created in the past.
It's been created.
Yes.
And it's been used, and it's been used in terrible ways, and it's just taking it away is like, I think taking it away from people that still want to express themselves because they still experience it.
Right. How about Odd? What's your feeling on this?
I feel like I agree with
Chris here?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think anybody should say it. I don't think anybody should say it, but is it gonna? You can't control what everybody else is gonna do.
Right.
I use it, but I mean that's just because that's the culture. Like I grew up around people saying it, and it's something that's in my vocabulary. Do I think everybody needs to say it?
Right.
Absolutely not.
Who are the everybody that do not need to say it?
I feel like if you're not black, don't say it.
I completely agree with that.
Do not say it. If you're not comfortable saying it in front of me, in front of the people that I hang out with, you shouldn't be comfortable saying it in front of your friends or behind closed doors. Like it's one of those, like if you can't do it in front of your mama, you shouldn't be doing it at all.
Chris, do you agree with that?
But my question to you is how can you tell them they can't use that word? Like when
because they can't use it.
But you're using that word yourself.
Because
like,
I'm black.
But that gives you the right to use that word?
It does.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's fair that you can tell a whole group of people that they can't use a word. Like when you're using the same word. You're using that word you're using the word that was negative.
Right.
And we've tried to turn it positive. But then if you truly made that word positive and you're using it positive towards something else and it doesn't have the feeling attached, then why can't they use it?
I mean,
that's
a really good point. That's really a great point. But it's just the fact that, I mean, white people, honestly, have been the only people in the entire world that has not ever been treated like they're not people. So I believe, like, if there's one thing that we have that we can do that you can't do, so be it. I can say the word because my ancestors went through it. They did. I can say the word. You cannot say the word. Unfortunately, if anybody around me, if I hear a white person say that word.
What are you going to do?
Oh.
What are you going to say? Oh, really?
Okay, but hold up. So I would get pissed off too, though. I don't let people say that. That's not cool with me.
Let's go.
Okay, so if someone says that word to you, earrings are coming off, grease is going on the face, you're ready to fight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe not necessarily get violent right away, but like because in the industry that I'm in, you get people that slip up.
Yes.
In this industry, there is definitely people who slip up and try.
You talk about the entertainment industry.
Exactly.
Okay.
So like you can't always. I mean, because
But what if you have a
reputation is
homie?
important.
Well, what if you have a homie?
My homies know better.
No, I'm talking about you have a homie that's white, a homie that's maybe Latino or something like that. Do you allow them to participate?
Absolutely not.
So
My Puerto Rican friend,
Yes.
so I actually in my apartment right now, I have a black roommate, a white roommate, and a Puerto Rican roommate.
And they cannot do it.
The black girl can say it.
Okay.
I can say it.
She has permission. You have permission.
The other two, I mean, it's really not about. I don't think it's about permission.
Right.
It's just knowing your boundaries.
Okay, so panel. Let's go here. Let's go here. Chris,
I just have a question. What is your racial ethnicity? I'm just curious.
I'm black and Samoan.
Okay, so black and Samoan. So is there any Caucasian in your background? Makeup. Because there's some black people could look at you and say, you can't say the word because you don't look like us. So
Correct.
There are some people that could say that. So like it's a word that shouldn't be used. Like it, and we use it because we're comfortable. We use it because we've tried to, as the black race, we turn negative things into positive things. We turn something that's bad that's happened to us to something good because it's what we went through tough things. That's how that's how we've lived our lives. That's where those Negro spirituals come in from. We turn bad to good. But this is one of those things where, people don't get upset when people sing gospel songs. They don't get upset when they do black songs, black music. But with this word, because there's so much hate that was attached to it and because it was used in a negative stance, we shouldn't use it toward each other if we don't want somebody else to use it, because we're doing the same thing. And when black people use it, we're not necessarily saying, hey, we're not saying I'm gonna use the word for the purpose of the show. We're not saying that's my nigga. Some people say, nigga, please. And they're using it in a negative tonality for other black people.
That is our culture. That's my culture.
But actually, it's not
That's the culture that I grew up in.
Actually, it's not your culture because you didn't give yourself that word. Somebody else gave you that word, and you're taking that word and making it something else. Why can't we create something that's for ourselves? Why can't we come up with a better word? Why can't we expand our vocabulary?
Right. I totally agree. I agree with you 100%.
Let me chime in here. I'm with you 100%. That word, okay. So we all know the word, the N-word. Everybody that's watching at home, we all know it. And right now we're trying to gain ownership of what this word means to us. But in true reality, no one has ever been completely obliterated by this word except slaves. Okay? And since none of us has ever been slaves, none of us, entertainers, athletes, people in the corporate world, why are we so attached to it when someone else says it? So to me, it's a slave man mentality when we try to down someone else from saying that word. It doesn't make any sense. It's not even your word. It's like if I called you Stephanie, you wouldn't even think twice, correct? You wouldn't even think, hey, Stephanie. Or hey, Brooke, you wouldn't, oh, that's not my name, correct? But if I called you the N-word, we get upset. Why is that?
Because there's negative associations attached to that word.
There's negative associations.
And we haven't healed from it.
You haven't healed, but you've attached yourself to that negative association. You've attached yourself to it. You're handcuffed to it. So you can't see it. So white people try to make peace with it and say, okay, this is what's going on, whatever. And black people try to handcuff themselves to it as well. So we're both here fighting the word. N-word's right in the middle. How do we abolish it?
Well, I feel
go ahead. Keep that, okay? We'll be right back after this break. Here's what's coming up on the next Carlos Hardy Show.
Somebody give me my
Coming up on the next Carlos Hardy Show.
We're gonna move into Lady Gaga. Now, to me, she earned it, and I'm gonna speak for those people. And the reason why I say that is because whenever you have nothing, not a father, not a mother, not a family member, not someone you know in the industry, whenever you have nothing, not a platform, and you're able to move yourself into a place where there's no one, you've earned it.
Like people say Nicki Minaj took Lil' Kim's style.
Yeah,
but Nicki earned it. It's like, I don't really think it's like taking your style. You're almost, we recycle stuff all the time.
Yes.
We take things all the time.
Not
it's
melodies.
reinventing.
And so he presented it to you in a nice little package, and guess what you got? You got to feel for it. You got to drinking the Kool-Aid. Drink that Kool-Aid. The Kool-Aid is called Justin Bieber. I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid.
Right? Earned it.
Earned it.
Okay, let's talk about earned it.
Yes.
Madonna I'm sorry, anyone who takes something from someone else did not earn it. You are a copycat.
People like Master P earned it. People like Donnell Jones earned it. They have nothing. They started with nothing. Welcome back. We're talking about the N-word, whether to abolish it or to have it stand where it is. Katie, we left you last. Give us your opinion.
One of my big arguments with this word is that when you say a word, there's intention behind it.
Yes.
So when a white person says it to somebody that's black, there's intention behind that to hurt.
Yes.
When a black person says it to another black person, there's an intention behind that to either embrace it or to change it or whatever.
Yes.
But it's all about intention, and that word carries a lot of weighted intention depending on who says it.
Right. Okay, I get that. Go ahead, Aud.
I agree with that. I don't not agree with everything that you're saying. I have been in like a space before where I'm like, I don't think anybody should say it. And I don't think anybody should say it. But I can't control what anybody else does. And honestly, it's just, that's how, like me growing up with my friends and everything, unfortunately, it's in my music. Mm-hmm. It's just in my vocabulary. That's just how it is. And sometimes I can mean it in an endearing way, but like she said, it's all about intention and who says it.
Okay, so in today's society, that word comes from one place, and I think it's established in one place, and that's in media. That's in music. You really don't hear too much about it in movies and things like that, but music is leading the way with this word. And these same artists who use these words, we got the JayZs, the 50 Cents, and all these people who use these words, these artists will crucify someone who is other than black for using these words. I don't get that. I don't get it. You're using this word with malice, and then you're mad and angry when someone opposing uses this word. Chris, help me out here.
I don't think they understand what it's doing subconsciously.
Understanding. That's the key word.
I think it's understanding that if I call you this word and you know that it has this negative connotation attached to it, I'm in a sense calling you a slave. I'm going back to that date. I'm calling you something. I'm twisting it. But if it really didn't have the meaning that we say it doesn't have now, then we wouldn't be upset about it when somebody else uses it. I don't want anybody to use it because it does affect me when somebody says, it doesn't affect me like it affects somebody else, but I don't get upset or angry, ready to fight. But I'm like, why would somebody say that?
But you know what? I don't think that's the answer. I think when you censor people and say you cannot do this, then it propels them to want to do more, okay? I think what needs to happen, this is just my opinion, I think, like you said, understanding. African Americans need to understand what this word is. I mean, truthfully. I mean, I'm talking about profoundly. I'm not talking about, they call us this. I mean, go and understand where it came from, understand the origins of it, and then educate yourself and not get angry. If you're a black person watching, if you cannot get angry when someone uses that word, you've got it. I'm sorry, you've got it. When you're angry, upset, you're using your emotions, you're using your feelings, you don't have it. I'm sorry, I don't care who you could be celebrity, you could be Oprah, you could be whoever. If someone is using that word against you, I don't care. It don't matter. You don't have it. You have to figure it out. There's just a reflection to help you figure it out. They're just trying to help you figure it out because you have an issue with that word. Same with the B word. Same with anything that people may call you. If you have some kind of emotional reaction to it, that's something you have to work on. Do you guys get that already?
I get that too, but we do it with the word bitch.
Bitch, yes, we do.
That's something as women that's been used as a negative connotation, something demeaning.
Right.
And we have turned it into a word that we call each other that.
And you keep it alive.
Right, exactly. Like I can say that to you.
Yeah.
I can say that to you. You can say that to me, but if you call me, don't make me take my earrings off again.
But that's a problem though. Is because you're letting if you're letting one person give them the privilege to say the word, and you're letting another person not have the privilege.
Right.
So my thing is, what is the intention behind? This is a question. What is the intention behind when you call her the B word?
Well, I think it goes back to like what you were saying. It's the same thing. I'm taking a word that's been used derogatorily against me, and I am now kind of playing with it.
With someone else.
And it gives me some kind of empowerment over that. It makes me feel like that's not going to control or affect me anymore because I can use it.
But it does when another man says it to you.
And I completely agree.
So why not find better words?
Right.
Correct.
And I think the reason why people can't find better, I'm always for that, finding some other word to supplement that word. The reason why people don't, because people are what we call lazy. No, I'm not kidding. No, they are.
Yes.
It's easy to say the B word.
That's
It's
true.
easy to say the N word, but it would take JayZ, and I'm using JayZ. If you're watching, I'm using you. It would take him, I'm serious, it would take him a while in his mind to switch the mindset of the N word to cat, to my homie, to this. You know what I mean? His mind is so inundated with it that he don't know how to move it. And that's where our problem is.
Google.
Lazy. We're just lazy. That's what it is.
I mean, that's what I'm
You're just
saying.
lazy.
I think that's what I'm trying to say when I said, like, I grew up with that music. Like, JayZ's new album,
Yes.
he has a song where he literally says the word in the chorus.
A million times.
A million times.
And guess who that upsets? It upsets every kid, every parent, every educator at home, and JayZ's somewhere in his $1 million mansion, not dealing with what you call racism or the N word, but he pushed it out to you, and he's just living it. Do you guys get what I'm saying? That's what it's called. Wake the hell up. Understand the word. Understand it. Get past it, and move on. It has nothing to do with white people anymore.
Right.
Before it did with slaves. Correct?
I got what you. I understand what
But
you're
now
saying.
you have to make a choice. My show, I promise you, is about choices. When you come on my show, I'm not trying to educate y'all, but then again, I am. It's about choices. I'm telling you, you have to make a choice. If you do not make a choice, someone else will make the choice for you. And JayZ makes a choice every day, and he makes $1 million making the choices for you to use the N word. Holla back. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying, Chris?
We just have to find better words.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
We have to make a decision not to use it the way we use it in our community,
And not be upset.
And then when
with
somebody
everybody.
else uses it, it doesn't mean that it's not gonna sting, because sometimes it does. But we can control how we respond to things. We can't control what happens, but we can control how we respond. And if we can control how we respond, eventually you can control what comes
And then it
to
loses
you.
its power.
It loses its power.
Every time you get upset, you start throwing earrings. They've like, I won.
They got
her.
you.
I
They
got
wanted
you.
it.
I've
You're
got you.
absolutely
And that's what it
right.
is. When every time you respond to the B word, the A word, the N word, whatever, whenever that happens, you've lost. You've already lost when your hand, the intention is I'm about to beat you up because you called me a name, and it's not really about that. It's about you understanding. Oh my God, this is what I'm doing. Let me change my behavior so my outcome, the reflection, will be different. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because when I was younger, if someone said the B word to me, it threw me.
Threw you
I
off.
have been in fights for this stuff. But now if someone says it to me, I'm like, and you are too.
Yeah, because back then you had a
Okay.
belief. You probably had a belief system
I
about what the
changed it.
B word meant, and then you just moved it.
And not the same word.
Yeah, okay.
Not the same word, not
Yes.
the same
You're not
weight
trying to
to that
classify.
word.
Yeah,
am
I
not.
agree.
I'm just saying that I did learn to change that for myself, because if I kept giving that power, that just made me upset.
Okay.
Not that like I said, I don't feel like I have necessarily the place to put an opinion on
Right.
whether you can say it or not.
It gets the last word. What do you want to say? Are you a changed person? Or you gonna start beating up white people?
No.
She mad, you good?
No. Okay, so that was a little bit dramatic. I of course
I
wouldn't
know,
beat
I know.
nobody
I
up because
know, we
I'm not even really a violent person at all.
Right.
However, it just I'm very stubborn. I'm so stubborn,
what it
and that's
is.
just something that I know
That's
about
what it is.
myself.
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying, but I don't want to hear none of y'all white people saying the N word. I don't want to hear none of it.
Okay, we got it. That's it. Thank you guys. Okay. Remember, subscribe to the channel. It's right there. Subscribe. We would love to have you. We're having much needed conversations. This is about a conversation more so than anything else, with the intention to inspire, just to inspire you to think differently and maybe think the same. Who knows? Thank you guys so much. All of my guests, their social medias will be right down there. You'll be able to click on it and you'll be able to see Christopher, Katie, and Odd. You'll be able to go to them and check them out. Until next time, I am Carlos Hardy. Thank you so much.
It's the Carlos Hardy Show. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's the Carlos Hardy Show. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on, let's do it. 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 It's the Carlos Hardy Show.
Leave a question, comment, a like, or subscribe below. The takeover has begun.